Everyone, it's me, Lucky, and today I'm going to talk about my most anticipated releases of 2021. And I'm going to keep it restricted to the first quarter of the year, as there are a lot of amazing releases coming out in 2021. And if I made the video for the entire year, it would be more than an hour long. It would take me hours to shoot, and going by the speed at which I edit videos, it will be 2021 before I complete the editing of it. So let's keep it short and let's begin. So let's begin with the January releases. And the first book that I'm going to talk about in this video is A Vow So Bold and Deadly by Bridget Cameron. It is the third book in the Cursed Spirit series, which is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. So here's the synopsis of the first book.
Cursed by a powerful enchantress to repeat the autumn of his 18th year, Prince Rain, the heir of Emberfall, thought he could be saved easily if a girl fell for him. But that was before he turned into a vicious beast, hell-bent for destruction. Before he destroyed his castle, his family, and every last shred of hope. Nothing has ever been easy for Harper. With her father long gone, her mother dying, and her brother constantly underestimating her because of her cerebral palsy, Harper learned to be tough enough to survive. When she tries to save a stranger on the street of Washington, D.C., she is pulled into a magical world. Harper doesn't know where she is or what to believe. A prince, a curse, a monster. As she spends time with Ren in his enchanted land, she begins to understand what's at stake. And as Ren realizes Harper is not just another girl to charm, his hopes comes flooding back. But powerful forces are standing against Emberfall, and it will take more than just a broken curse to save Harper, Ren, and his people from utter ruin.
So, if you are interested in finding out why Ren was cursed, why he brought Harper from DC, and what are the forces which want the downfall of Emberfall, do check this book out. The third book is going to release on 19th of January, so do check it out. The second January release which I am excited for is Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry by C.M. Dragona. And here's the synopsis for it.
Delaria Wells, petty con artist, occasional thief, and a partly educated fire witch, is behind on her rent in the city of Lewiscourt again. Then she sees the wanted signs seeking female persons of martial and magical ability to guard a lady of some importance prior to the celebration of her marriage. Delhi fast talks her way into the job and joins a team of highly peculiar women tasked with protecting their wealthy charge from unknown assassins. Delhi quickly sets her sights on one of her companions, the confident and well-bred Vin Silanam. The job looks like nothing but romance and easy money, until things take a deadly and undead turn. With the help of a bird-loving necromancer, shape-shifting schoolgirl, and an ill-tempered, reanimated mouse named Buttons, Delhi and Vin are determined to get the best of an adversary who wields a twisted magic and has friends in highest of places.
That hooked me up with this book was badass women fighting assassins with badass powers like controlling fire, necromancy, shape-shifting, and a reanimated ill-tempered mouse named Buttons. What else do you want? And this book is going to release on 12th of January, so we don't have to wait that long for it. So the third book which I'm excited for in the month of January is Remote Control by Nelly Oppericott. And here's the synopsis for it.
She is the adopted daughter of the Angel of Death. Beware of her, mind her. Death regards her like one of its own. The day Fatima forgot her name, Death paid her a visit. From here on in, she would be known as Sankofa, a name that meant nothing to anyone but her, the only tie to her family and her past. Her touch is death, and with a glance, a town can fall. And she walks alone, except for her fox companion, searching for the object that came from the sky and gave itself to her when the meteor fell, and when she was yet unchanged, searching for answers. But is there a greater purpose for Sankofa, now that death is her constant companion?
So the thing which hooked me up to this book was it seems like a dark fantasy which I love. The second of all is the fact that synopsis gives us a lot of questions. Why did death become constant companion of Fatima? What is the object that fell from the sky? What does it has to do with the death around her? And what is her purpose now that the death is her constant companion? To know the answers to all these questions, we just have to wait till 19th of January when the book is going to be released. The fourth book, which I'm again excited for in 2021, is a January release, and it is The Hall of Smoke by H.M. Long. And here's the synopsis for it.
Asa is an Engai, a warrior priestess of the goddess of war, with the power to turn an enemy's bones to dust with a scream. Banished for disobeying her goddess's command to murder a traveler, she prays for forgiveness alone on the mountainside. While she is gone, raiders raze her village and obliterate the Engai priesthood. Grieving and alone, Hessa, the last Engai, must find the traveler, atone for her weakness, and secure her place with her loved ones in the high halls. As clans from the north and legionaries from the south tear through her homeland, slaughtering everyone in their path, Essa strives to win back her goddess's favor. Beset by zealot soldiers, deceitful gods, and newly awakened demons at every turn, Hessa burns her path towards redemption and revenge. But her journey reveals a harrowing truth. The gods are dying, and the high halls of afterlife are fading. Soon Hessa's trust in her goddess weakens, with every unheeded prayer. Thrust into a battle between gods of the old world and the new, Hessa realizes there is far more on the line than securing a life beyond her own death. Bigger, older powers slumber beneath the surface of our world, and they are about to wake up.
So, as I've seen, this book contains warrior priestesses with amazing powers, unresponsive gods, question on faith, and a war between old and new gods, and something really old, big, sleeping in the depths of earth, now starting to awake. If you are interested in this book, you will just have to again wait till 19th of January when it is going to be. So the fifth book in this list is The Witch's Heart by Jennifer Gornick. And here's the synopsis for it.
Angarbonda's story begins where the most witches' tales end, with a burning. A punishment from Odin for refusing to provide him with knowledge of the future. The fire leaves Agarbonda injured and powerless, and she flees into the furthest reaches of the remote forest. There, she is found by a man who reveals himself to be Loki, and her initial distrust of him transformed into a deep and abiding love. The union produces three unusual children, each with a secret destiny, who Agarbonda is keen to raise at the edge of the world, safely, hidden from Odin's all-seeing eye. But as Agarbonda slowly recovers her prophetic powers, she learns that her blissful life and possibly all of existence is in danger. With help from the fierce huntress Kadi, with whom she shares a growing bond, Agarbonda must choose whether she will accept the fate that she is seen for her beloved family or rise to remake the future. From the most ancient of tales, this novel forges a story of love, loss, and hope for the modern age.
So the thing that excites me the most about the book is having children of Loki and a witch which has powers to prophesy future. I'm really curious to know what kind of powers those children would have. What are the secret destinies that they want to fulfill, and also what is going to happen, which will endanger all the existence. To know the answer to these questions, we just have to wait till 9th of February when it is going to come out. So the sixth book in my TBR, and the book for which I'm kind of most excited about, is The Mask of Mirror by M.A. Carrick. And here's the synopsis of the book.
Nightmares are creeping through the city of dreams. Renata Viradax, a con artist, who has came to the sparkling city of Nadezra, the city of dreams, with one goal: to trick her way into a noble house and secure her fortune and her sister's future. As corrupt nightmare magic begins to weave its way through the city of dreams, the poisonous feats of its aristocrats, the shadowy danger of its improvised underbelly becomes tangled, with Ren at their heart. And if she cannot sort the truth from the lies, it will mean the destruction of all her works.
So the thing which makes it most interesting to me is the fact that it has magic system based on dreams. And anyone who has done the mistake of having a conversation with me about dreams and sleeping and the science behind it, knows that how much I'm obsessed with them. And when I read it has magic system based on dreams, I was like, just stop and give that book to me. The seventh book on this list is Kalara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro. And here's the synopsis of the book.
Kalara and the Sun, the first novel by Kazuo Ishiguro since he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature, tells the story of Kalara, an artificial friend with outstanding observational qualities, who, from her place in the store, watches carefully the behavior of those who come in to browse and those who pass on the street outside. She remains hopeful that a customer will soon choose her. Kalara and the Sun, a thrilling book that offers a look at a changing world through the eyes of an unforgettable narrator, and one that explores the fundamental question: what does it mean to love?
First of all, the thing which made me put this book in the list is the fact that the author of this book is a Nobel Prize winner in literature. The second is its plot, which it seems really interesting to me. A doll or a toy or a robot which is going to narrate this book and is going to talk about what it means to love, which I really find interesting. And I'm really curious to find out what it is going to teach us about love. So if the book seems interesting to you, it is going to be released on the 2nd of March on 2021. So the eighth book in this list is The Bone Maker by Sarah Beth Durst. And here's the synopsis of it.
25 years ago, five heroes risked their lives to defeat the Bone Maker Aklor, a corrupt magician who created an inhuman army using animal bones. But victory came at a tragic price. Only four of the heroes survived. Since then, Kreia, the group leader, has exiled herself to a remote tower and devoted herself to one purpose: resurrecting her dead husband. But such a task requires both a cage of human bones and a sacrifice. For each day he lives, she will live one less. She would rather live 1 year with her husband than 100 without him. But using human bones for magic is illegal in wars. The dead are burned, and as are the bone workers who violate the laws. Yet Kriya knows where she can find the bones she needs: the battlefield where her husband and countless others lost their lives. Defying the laws of the land exposes a terrible possibility. Maybe the dead don't rest in peace after all. Five warriors, one broken, one gone soft, one pursuing a simple life, one stuck in the past, and one who should be dead. The story should have been finished, but evil doesn't stop just because someone said the end.
Again, it seems like a dark fantasy with bone magic, reincarnation, and a group of friends coming back to fight an evil which should have been long gone. Every single thing about this book is screaming me to pick it up, and I'm going to do it on 9th of March when it is going to be released. So the ninth and second last book which is included in this list is The Unbroken by C.L. Clark. And here comes the synopsis.
Lorraine is a soldier, stolen as a child and raised to kill and die for the Empire. Her only loyalty is to her fellow conspiracist. But now her company has been sent back to her homeland to stop a rebellion, and the ties of blood may be stronger than she thought. Luca needs a turncoat, someone desperate enough to tiptoe the bayonet's edge between treason and order, someone who can sway the rebels towards peace, while Luca focuses on what really matters: getting her uncle off the throne. Through assassinations and massacres, in bedrooms and wardrooms, Lorraine and Yuka will haggle over the price of a nation. But some things aren't for sale.
Again, this book has some badass women doing some badass stuff and a lot of politics, assassins, and murder, which is definitely my top. The synopsis also tells us that they are going to haggle over the price of the nation, which I'm really curious to read about. And this book is going to be released on 23rd of March. So the 10th and the final book in this TBR is The Helm of Midnight by Marina J. Lasseter. And here comes the synopsis.
In a daring and deadly heist, Hughes have made away with an artifact of terrible power, the death mask of Louis Charbon. Made by a master craftsman, it is imbued with the spirit of a monster from history, a serial murderer who terrorized the city with a series of gruesome murders. Now, Charbon is loose once more, killing from beyond the grave. But These murders are different from before, not simply random, but work of a deliberate mind, probing for answers to a sinister question. It is up to Krona Hirvan and her fellow regulators to enter the mind of madness to stop the insanitable killer while facing the terrible truths left in his wake.
So again, it is a dark gothic book which I just love. And this dead serial killer came back killing these people with some pattern, and this group of people who are trying to stop this serial killer. This book is giving me a lot of diviner vibes which I loved, and that's why I'm going to definitely read this book. And if you find this book interesting, it comes out on 13th of April. So these are all the books that I'm excited for in the first quarter of 2021. If you found those books and this video interesting, please like this video. If you want to see more content like this, please do subscribe and comment down below which are your most anticipated releases of 2021. Also let me know if you will be interested in seeing similar videos about different genres as well, and I will see you next time.